Сайн байцгаана уу хүнд үзэгчдээ. Өнөөдөр орой манай дефакто нэвтрүүлгийн зочноор Турк улсын онц бөгөөд бүрэн эрхт элчин сайд Asim Arar оролцож байна.
Ахмет Асим Арар 1955 онд Туркийн Стамбул хотод төрсөн гэр бүлтэй Греноблийн их сургуулийн улс төрийн шинжлэх ухаан олон улсын харилцааны факультетийг төгссөн Франц англи хэлтэй. 1983 онд Туркийн гадаад хэргийн яамны Кипр Грекийн асуудал эрхэлсэн хилцээс ажлын гараагаа эхэлсэн Киншаса, Парис хот дахь Туркийн элчин сайдын яам, Женев, Вен хот дахь нэгдсэн үндэсний байгууллагын салбарт Туркийн суурин төлөөлөгчөөр ажиллаж байна. 2008-аас 2012 онуудад Монгол улс дахь Туркийн элчин сайдаар ажиллаж байна.
Good evening.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening. So it's time to take off from Mongolia.
Yes. Unfortunately.
How long have you been here?
4 years,
4
slightly
years.
more than 4 years. 4 years, let's say.
And if you were ambassador before?
No, this is the first time I was
And
nominated.
You are a professional diplomat.
Yes, career.
And you started your business, this career working for Cyprus, Greece in '83.
Yes, the 16th of March, 1983.
83. In
29 years.
30 years ago, the problem with, I just want to, let's give some, what has happened with that island and the division of that island into two pieces, and how do you see the near future of that island?
Well, the island of Cyprus, as you know, it's placed in the eastern Mediterranean in a very strategic location. It became Turkish during the Ottoman Empire in 1571. And in the 19th century, it was sold to Britain by the Ottoman Sultan.
Mm-hmm.
It was sold to Britain. And in 1956, in the middle of the 20th century, it became independent. It became independent, and there were two ethnicities living on the island, the Cypriot Greeks and the Cypriot Turks. And by the agreements signed between the two ethnicities, plus the two main countries, Greece and Turkey, so in 1960, 1961, the London Agreement, the Zurich Agreement, there has been an independent republic established by the two ethnicities. But the problems afterwards started quite quickly, which can be explained as crimes and assassinations against the Turks to force them to leave, and they were ousted from the administration, whereas it was a shared administration. This is how the Cyprus issue has started in the eastern Mediterranean. And in 1974, there was a coup. There was a coup generated by the then colonels ruling in Athens, and very complicated events have taken place in the island, and Turkey had to intervene twice, in July 1974 and in August 1974. Then afterwards, the two ethnicities were divided within the island. Now there is a
By force?
At the end of this
To
intervention.
end the ethnic violence, you have to separate.
Yes, I mean the Greek Cypriots, they moved towards the south, and the Turkish Cypriots, they came to the north. So it was divided. And then negotiations have started under the auspices of the United Nations in order to establish a federal republic, which did not work. Therefore, I think on the 15th of November 1983, the Turkish Cypriots established their own independent democratic parliamentarian republic. Until now, this republic is not recognized by other states except Turkey. But that doesn't change the fact that they are there. This Republic of Northern Turkish Cyprus is there, with its parliamentary, its political parties, political system, its economy.
And the south part is recognized?
Yes.
All around the world?
All around the world, and unfortunately the European Union did not listen to us. What we were advising to the European Union was not to take the Greek Cypriots in before the Cyprus issue has been solved. But they were taken in, and I think it was in 2004, if I'm not mistaken, 2004 or 2006. And of course that complicated even more the solution to the Cyprus issue. The United Nations Secretary General has always been working on the issue. Mr. Annan, Kofi Annan, had prepared a plan for the solution, which went to the referendum in the whole of the island. The Greek Cypriots refused it. The Turkish Cypriots accepted with more than 70% of votes. But for the moment, there is a deadlock. However, negotiations try to continue, follow up under the auspices of the United Nations. This is the
I have brought the issue also because I have visited both parts of Ireland, and another thought always gives me about the religious conflicts all around the world. Is it the issue on the island about Muslim religion and the Christians, but the Russian, the Orthodox, right? Greek Orthodox Christians, ethnic, religious issue?
You know, we have never seen in Turkey this issue as a religious conflict. Even when I was working at the headquarters on the Cyprus issue in the Cyprus department, that was never seen as a religious issue, but rather a political matter.
Because is it still the issue with Turkey and part of European Union and acceptance to European Union related to this matter?
Well, yes, the European Union says, well, Turkey, you cannot be a member before there is a solution to this problem on the island. Well, this is this is what they say.
Yeah. Mongolia and Turkey has very historic relations, very long terms. How do you see that relations today?
Excellent. I was here, as I said, since the last 4 years. For the last 4 years, when I started, we never had any political difficulties, any political problems. But I think, I don't say I did it, but I mean we all did it all together. I think within these 4 years, we have enlarged and deepened our relations in many fields. And today there is an excellent relationship between Mongolia and Turkey. The common history of 1,500 years ago helps a lot because whatever the subject is, whatever the matter is, at the beginning we have this closeness and we have this understanding of each other. So even if there is a slight problem, which I never have met, it's always, it helps also to solve this. We have good political relations. Our economic relations, trade volume, etc., is increasing. There will be even better interconnection, I think, interaction when we open the flights of the Turkish Airlines on the 2nd of July in 1 month, in less than 1 month. And our military cooperation is excellent. There are many agencies which cooperate with each other. We have approximately 1,300 students studying in the Turkish universities. there is a community of youngsters who speak Turkish in Mongolia. We have tried to develop our also cultural relations through artistic manifestations. And
how many Turks do they live in Mongolia?
we have 204 inscribed at our consular section. It might be a little bit different. It might be a little bit more. Yeah.
You said about on July the 2nd of July, there will be Turkish Airlines' first maiden flight to Mongolia.
Yes.
Ulaanbaatar, how it will fly?
Istanbul, Bishkek, Ulaanbaatar.
Istanbul, Bishkek.
Ulaanbaatar, Bishkek, Istanbul. So there is a stopover in Bishkek in order to be refueled because...
Can you take passengers?
Yes. This is why it is important, because the Kyrgyz authorities gave us what is called the fifth traffic right in aviation, which means carrying passengers between cities which are not part of your
territory.
Territory. That's a possibility, also a politically important possibility for Mongolia, because that will give the opportunity for Mongolians to open up to Central Asia and vice versa.
Yes, exactly. Will be a close for Mongolians' destination to go to Kazakhstan back.
Yes.
Though there is a border issue a little bit. Going through the border should be not easy nowadays.
Between Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan.
Otherwise, I think the rest is way closer. And it's Mongolian Airlines have been working and thinking, and Turkish Airlines also, but didn't work until now. And congratulations with that, finally that flight.
Thank you. I accept it in the name of my authorities who...
Okay, have been working. Will it fly every week or what?
3 times a week. Now,
even so?
Yes, 3 times a week. Because we are increasing, Turkish Airlines is increasing its flights to Kyrgyzstan. I think there will be 10 flights per week, and 3 of them will come to Ulaanbaatar. Now at the next stage we have to sign a cargo agreement in order to carry goods, which will increase our trade volume enormously.
Because Istanbul is one of the largest, if not largest, hub in the
Europe.
Yes,
it's a very important hub. Many years ago I have seen the statistics, and it was 23 million passengers per year. Now I'm sure it's much more than that. Once you are in Istanbul, you can reach anywhere.
What would be the tourism product for Turks in Mongolia? What will be that tourism company can sell to your market to come to Mongolia, to you?
You mean the attraction of Mongolia?
Mongolia, yes.
Well, there are many Turks, believe me, I'm not joking. There are many Turks. Our friends, let's take the example of our friends. They are all so sorry that within these 4 years there has been so little to visit us. But there has been so many who were interested in coming here. But via different capitals, because we didn't have the direct occasion, it was extremely expensive. Also for us, when we were leaving, for example, to our country for vacations.
Other than that, once they are in Mongolia, what the Turks would love to see, because you have the deep knowledge of this country?
Well, first of all, people. The people are very close, and we shouldn't forget that we still have some same traditions. Which are valid in Anatolia also, that the Turks have taken from Central Asia, and the closeness of people, and of course this beautiful nature. I was three days ago, I was in South Gobi. That was half business, half vacation for me. I took my family also, and we were amazed. We were fascinated by the diversity of the nature. I have also had some travels within Mongolia, elsewhere to the north, to the east, and to the west, a couple of times to the west, because we have some projects. I was always fascinated. So mostly, with the exception of the winter, mostly the nature.
Your wife had several times very interesting photo exhibitions in the country, probably taken from all around the country, a wonderful photo. Will you be able to show those back in your country?
Of course, yes. Our ministry, the foreign ministry in Turkey, has a gallery, an art gallery, and the first plan is to exhibit them in that gallery. We have to see the calendar, of course. And maybe this year, towards the end of the year or next year, we will certainly exhibit it, and maybe even we will send it to different cities in Turkey. I mean, because there will be very much interest.
I noticed back in Turkey, when you visit, I have visited several places around, there is a name of Orkhon is very popular. Several Mongolian words. What do you say about those?
This comes from the Orkhon Valley, where the Göktürk Empire was established in all this region, which was a descendant of the Huno Empire. Because, to tell you the truth, I have seen that Mongolians see the Huno Empire as a Mongolian state, and we, the Turks, we see it as a Turkish state. I think the historic truth is that it's a combination of all these groupings living in this geography who have established this state 2,000 years ago. So Göktürks were the descendants of the Huno Empire, and they lived here. They lived mostly in the Orkhon Valley, where they have left many monuments. There was a Turkish-Mongolian excavation which was finished, I think, in 2006. Some 4,300
tall rocks.
Yes.
Written in different Chinese, Turkish, Arabic letters.
No, this is not Arabic. This is Uyghur.
Uyghur.
Yes. And Göktürk alphabet, called also the runic alphabet by the Finnish archaeologues. The Chinese, because when Bilgehan was dead, the Chinese emperor sent his representatives to express his sadness. So they wrote in Chinese.
Yes. Condolences. Yes.
Condolences. And some 4,300 pieces were found in the excavation, which are now in the depot in Ulaanbaatar. Some in the Archaeology Institute and some in the National History Museum. Some original pieces are in the museum, which was constructed by Turkey in the Orkhon Valley. Yes.
And now you can visit from Karakorum to that place by road, which was built by your ODA.
Yes, it was a Turkish company.
Yes, which will be a good, I think, attraction for Turkish tourists coming to Mongolia to see.
Yes, because during some bilateral consultations previously, we had the decision to find some credits and to use it in partnership to construct a touristic facility not far from Karakorum and the museum in Hoşosaydam, which will serve tourists good quality services. That's under discussion.
And there will be more probably Turkish investment around in the country. By the way, how large is investment of foreign direct investment from Turkey to Mongolia?
Foreign direct investment, it's very little. Very, very little. It's non-existent, I can say.
Yeah. Do you expect increase with the flight?
I expect increase with the flight, starting with the construction companies. One of them is now operating, as you know, in Ulaanbaatar, because we are enlarging our embassy.
Yes.
And that's quite an important...
Speaking about your embassy, which is next after the French embassy, right?
Yes.
At this corner.
Yes.
And you are keeping the outside of the building, right?
Yes.
As it was.
Yes, because this is considered a historic building.
Historic building.
And I convinced my authorities not to destroy the outside, the facade, at least of the building, and we keep it all together. We are refurbishing inside the building as the chancellery. It will be the chancellery. So the residence of the ambassador is going out. It will be only the chancellery. And behind, in the court, there will be some apartments for our staff, and also 2 hotel rooms, because we have lots of people and delegations coming.
Visa? Visa issue?
The visa issue? You mean the Mongolian visa? Well, this is up to our Mongolian colleagues to exempt us from visas, because we have done it already.
So Mongolians go to Turkey, no visa for how many days?
For touristic visits, for 30 days, Mongolian ordinary passports are exempted from visa. But if you want to study, and if you want to work, then of course there is the relevant visa which has to be purchased at the embassy. But unfortunately, we did not see reciprocity in our gesture. And
so it's in your agenda.
Our citizens with ordinary passport are still coming with a visa taken.
How many Mongolians do you think live in Turkey and work or visit? Or?
Well, as I said, there are 1,200, 300 students. Most of them benefit from Turkish state scholarships. Some of them, they go by their own means.
Do they work after graduation there?
Some of them, yes. Some practical work in the hospitals. I have some friends, for example, doctors who have Mongolian assistants.
Somehow they learn, Mongolians go there and learn very fast your language.
Yes, it's the same route.
And vice versa, I saw Turkish citizens here speaking perfect Mongolian.
Yes. Well, it's Altaic language.
You have several schools here.
Yeah, we have 5 private schools.
Which have very good names, and certain very well-known graduates after the school goes to Turkey, comes back and working here and there in different sectors.
Yeah.
And I think this
that's
is
a good complementarity.
That was something, I think this is something will last for many years and to go and more extend. How do you see the connection? We sometimes say that Turkish, will go there, Kunz, and go there, and that we have a connection with Hungary, then Finland, etc. Do you relate to yourself to Hungary or Finland or somehow?
Let's say Turks as an ethnicity have appeared in history, according to some historians. I'm just expressing what they have said mentioned in their books. Some Scandinavian and northern Siberian ethnic groups called the Finugurs, from Alpine races. They have descended to Central Asia many years before Jesus in 2 big exodus. And they got mixed with the peoples, with the Turanid peoples, who were used during that time and also today, living in Central Asia. And from this mixture, what we call the Turk has appeared. So we are Alp Turanids, Alp Turanians as a race. And then there was this exodus towards the west, starting on the I think 8th and 9th century after Jesus. And then they got settled in today's Turkey, Anatolia, where there was also a mixture between those incomers and also the locals, Byzantine populations and subjects. Hungary became a part of the Turkish Empire afterwards for 150 years. But originally, I think they are more Uralians than Altaics. The language they consider their language as more, Uralo language, then I'll take language which is in fact the same group. If you listen to Hungarian, you will
plus,
see
yes,
many.
the Hungarian Finnish languages inside or words you can also, the similar Turkish and Mongolians can understand. Well, you have been here for 4 years, and what was the most interesting, moment as ambassador to this country for you?
There were many. I cannot say this was the most interesting. For example, to witness those high-level visits between the two countries. The Mongolian president, His Excellency Mr. Elbek Dorj, going to Istanbul for international meeting, accompanied by foreign ministers Andan Shatar. Our Speaker of the Parliament coming as a guest of honor for Nadam. The embassies endeavors to open a Mongolian-Turkish friendship park in the center of the city, and the negotiations that we have held.
In front of the Sultanbata Hotel?
Yes, across the foreign ministry. And other visits. The agreements which were signed during my term of office in very different fields, and the technical cooperation which have started later on. The mentioning of Turkey by name in the new foreign policy document which was accepted by the Parliament in 2011. And of course the starting of the flights and all the negotiations that we have held for that. The military cooperation deepening. That was, I think, the whole of the picture. I mean,
yep.
I cannot say this is the...
I understand. What was the not easy days? What kind of caused things that probably we can improve? What do you think?
The not easy days, well, there was one Turkish journalist who created an information which was not true. I mean, just sensational joke.
Back in Turkey?
Back in Turkey. And the consecutive days were not so easy. There were some reactions from our Mongolian friends which were right. And the embassy people, I mean, we were all squeezed in between a little bit, you know. That was an unpleasant situation due to an unpleasant joke. And we have understood, we have experienced that
well,
press should be more careful.
People all around the world have
that was
different characters. Huh?
What was not nice, I think it is still, the traffic in the capital. Mongolia has to find, the local authorities have to find a solution
to you,
quickly.
Why is that happening like this? We see from day to day, every day more increase in traffic.
Well, when I started in 2008, one of the first things that I learned was that there were 250 to 300 cars exceeding the capacity of the infrastructure, existing infrastructure. And that number has increased enormously, which is good, which I cannot criticize it, which is very good, because that shows the development of the country, the increase in the income, and also the car park has changed enormously, which is also very good. But the infrastructure is not adequate. Yes, I mean, maybe the best solution will be a subway, the construction of a subway, which I understand it is very difficult and expensive. But still, with some small precaution, small measures, let's say, maybe we can ameliorate a little bit the situation. For example, this ban on not talking with the mobile phone while you are driving. This is not respected. I mean, if people respect this ban, I think there will be a very slight amelioration.
Yeah, the traffic will be faster, I believe, more careful. Interesting. Let's go back to we're interested recently in Turkey, and maybe I'm wrong, but my understanding was there were always certain attempt or cautious from military side to make you have a history of certain military people making coup d'etat, and recently one of the military commander was arrested. What's happening?
The public opinion is waiting for the trial process to end.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see afterwards what developments will take place, whether they were really guilty, they were innocent. But now that the process, the judiciary process is going on, it will not be wise, for me at least, to evaluate on that.
I see, yeah, I understand. Turkey is also now ruled by a party which has more than previous party have a religious content and in their program, etc., and more religious, how you call it, and that situation, does it somehow have a more friction inside in terms of economic development that traditions or more, I mean, it's one of the reasons why Europeans are opposing, or isn't it the case?
First of all, I will not call religious. I will call conservative. Okay. Conservative is the right word, and conservative governments are not only in Turkey. There are many other places where they are exercising. Politically, whether the division between the modernists, the secularists, and the conservatives is deeper or not, maybe yes, maybe no. I mean, it depends on the person also. But economically, I don't think that it affected negatively. On the contrary, I mean, we are doing quite well economically, despite the fact that this current account deficit is an important issue that has to be taken into consideration seriously. And in the year 2023, we will be celebrating the 100th anniversary of our republic. We have some economic targets. And the important thing is to work for these targets, for these targets.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal success what you have reached during this 90 plus years. And I have seen in Turkey, in Istanbul, a museum about history, the World War I, where the soldiers of almost that time developed West were attacking Turkey, and it was not that easy time, huh?
Yeah, because in the First World War, before the war and immediately after the war, we had to make lots of wars. During the First World War, there were three fronts where the Ottoman Empire at that time was in war. The Western front in the Dardanelles, where Turkey was attacked by the Allies. The Eastern front with the Russians, and also the Palestinian front. There were also the Balkan Wars due to the independence struggle of the Balkanic countries against the empire. Not far from here, I mean, my grandfather was a medical doctor, and he had to fight in Palestine. Well, he was based at the hospital, but it was not an easy job, of course, seeing all these people coming mutilated. And he fought in Palestine, and he fought in Balkan front also.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is Turkish people have survived through such a big war, and I've seen the museum and what happened. And then you have changed the from Arabic alphabet into Latin.
Yes.
Was it happening after that?
Yes,
Just
it was
the
in
war?
1927.
And this was one of the best and the smartest move.
Yes, because Turkish is not convenient to be written with Arabic characters.
Yes.
We have some
I
sounds
see.
that you have also,
Yes,
because these
hard
are
to
archaic
express in
languages.
Arabic,
So that was very easy afterwards to learn how to read and write for illiterated populations. There was a jump in the number of those who learned.
It was easier to express
of course,
your
yes.
words and sounds,
Yes.
vowels, etc.
Yes.
Right? Prime Minister Erdogan had visited Mongolia before.
Yes.
And since that, I think the impulse of economic cooperation had increased substantially as well.
Well, there was a target which was put during that time and reaffirmed during the Joint Economic Commission to increase the trade volume to $50 million, which is not a big number. But taking into consideration the transport difficulties which existed at that time,
Yes.
it was still promising, because we had a trade volume of 4 million or something like that. And in in 2011 and also up to now, this year in 2012, we have catched a number around 60 million. So which means that we are now over the target.
Over the target.
In October, we will have a new Joint Economic Commission where a new target should be set, taking into consideration also during all these
I hope this will
positive
be the
developments.
trend. I think there are so many things that two businesses, private sectors can share and cooperate in terms of creating, bringing technology from your country, even the financing funds. How do you see, Ambassador, after 4 years working in this country, knowing Mongolia, today, 10 years from now, the relations between two countries by, say, 2022, 3?
I think it will continue to be excellent, and because you have to take into consideration the role which will be played by all these youngsters who are educated in Turkey and coming in, and they are having, as I can see, very good positions. They will constitute a natural bridge between our two countries. Of course, not only this, I'm just trying to give an example, but with the opening of direct transport means, we will be able to put our people into contact with each other and eventually into interaction with each other. So everything will be much quicker and to the better. Some misunderstandings will be solved in the business field and more easily. So I think it's very promising. It's very, very positive.
With this promising note, I would like to thank you for your service in this country. During these 4 years, there are substantial steps were made towards to what we have just now talked. And thank you for your great contribution, and I would like to have a great success in your future career.
Thank you very much. If I contributed a little bit, that was thanks to the host country's closeness to us and the authorities' welcoming and friendship and cooperation. So I think Turkey has to, I have to thank to you, and Turkey has to thank to Mongolia for
Ambassador,
what has
it
happened.
was a great pleasure to know you, to know your family. It was a great years. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.